As I sat in my sports car preparing for the race of a lifetime, my manager Ruth shot me a nervous look. If your dad finds out, we're dead meat. They're probably giving away some charity award somewhere. Besides, they already control everything. This is my way of living my life. Now sit still. As I drifted and turned the car around, Ruth was screaming, "Slow down, Your Royal Highness!" Oh, come on. The fun has just begun. I pumped up the gas, and my brand new Ferrari was whooshing past the rest of the cars, putting me ahead in the race. Told you I'd win. Just then, a big van came out of nowhere and started clicking my pictures. Time to run. Hi, I'm Penelope, a real-life princess from Belgium. Please like and subscribe. I grew up with really controlling parents. They planned my daily schedule and made me go to boring meetings and dinners so I'd be ready for my duties one day. I wasn't even allowed to go to school or parties with people my age. My life was miserable. After what had happened at the race that day, everyone in the kingdom called me the crazy princess. The media is having a ball. This is so harmful to our reputation. Your reputation? I aced that race, and they're saying I came in second. If anyone's reputation is hurt, it's mine. Enough. You are next in line to the throne, Penny. Mend your ways or I'll get you married. I'm 17. You can't get me married. I must be at least 18 according to the rules. I am the king and I set the laws. Dad received a call and left before I had a chance to argue any further. Surely it wasn't serious, right? The next morning, I was swimming in my private pool when Ruth walked in with William, Prince of Denmark, and my childhood best friend. I got out and hugged him tight.
Wow, you've become prettier over the years.
I wish I could say the same for you. We laughed and decided to catch up over dinner. But when I got to the table, I saw him talking to my parents, and they looked serious. What's going on?
Penny, darling, we were just discussing the venue for the marriage.
Oh wow, who's getting married?
Us.
William looked at me, grinning, and I felt my mind numb. Suddenly, I found myself dragging William outside. What the heck was that?
I want to get married to you. I've always liked you and your parents don't seem to have a problem.
But I do. I don't want to get married to you or anybody. I'm 17 for the love of God. Is that why you're here? Did my parents put you up to this? Wait, don't answer that. I already know. I turned around and walked off, leaving William alone. And after that day, things just weren't the same. I avoided William all day long, and it came to a point where I couldn't step out of the house. It was insane. Just as I was trying to figure out a way out of this, Ruth told me she was leaving for New York on official duty for a year. You can't leave me. You're the only one on my side. Then join me. Nobody knows you there. You'd be free to do what you like. That did sound like a brilliant idea, but I knew Mom and Dad would never allow that. That didn't mean I couldn't try. So the next day, I went to their chambers to have a one-on-one. I want to finish my last year of school in New York. No one, least of all William, should know where I am.
And why should we listen to you?
You have to if you want me to get married. If this is the last year of my single life, I'd rather spend it away from all this drama. After hours of arguing, they finally caved and agreed to enroll me in one of the best schools in New York under a different name, Mia. Within a week, I was on a plane to my new life. But New York was busier than I'd imagined. If not for Ruth, I would have totally lost my way. Tired and exhausted, I hit the shower as soon as I reached the hotel. But just as I entered the bathroom, I saw someone under the sink. If you're a thief, let me warn you, I know karate.
Really? I'd love to see that, Jackie Chan.
Don't come up. I will legit punch you. I quickly left and grabbed myself a robe. Come out. The guy slowly dragged himself out, and when I saw his face, I almost passed out. He had to be the most handsome guy I'd ever seen.
If you're done staring, can I leave? I have another job to get to.
Not so soon, mister. Do you know what would have happened if I didn't see you? This is a strict violation of human rights.
I'm late. Call a protest, light a candle, I don't care. My job's done.
And he turned around and left. What a jerk. That night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and woke up feeling annoyed and exhausted. I would have skipped my first day if Ruth hadn't boosted my confidence. As I entered the classroom, I immediately noticed a familiar face, the hot plumber guy. And unfortunately, he was the only one with an empty seat next to his.
I'm Asher.
What?
If you're stalking me, you might as well know my name.
You wish. I joined recently. It's my first day.
Explains why you're wearing your skirt inside out.
I looked down and he was right. How embarrassing. As if that wasn't awkward enough. Asher was also my lab partner and just the weirdest guy ever. I'd never seen him talk to anyone, and he was always either with his books or playing football. If I tried talking to him, he would awkwardly turn in the other direction. What was up with this guy? A few days later after school, I was happily relaxing in my hotel when someone knocked on my door. Asher.
You forgot your list of lab supplies.
Thanks. You could have given these to me tomorrow in school.
I don't know about you, but this class is really important to me, so don't screw up on these.
It's important for me too.
Clearly. Anyway, I'd love to stop and chat, but I'm late for my night job. Unlike you, I have work to do.
Did he just call me useless? Asher turned to leave, but I ran behind him. Hey, jerk. I know you think all the world's weight is on your shoulders, but it's not. Everyone has their battles, so don't you dare talk down to me again. I turned around and left, slamming the door in anger. What an absolute piece of work this guy was. When I told Ruth about him, she had the weirdest thing to say. Maybe he has a crush on you. What? No. The guy hates me for some reason, and he's such a prude. Gosh, he gets on my nerves. And yet, somehow all we've done is speak about him. Whatever. A few days later, we had a surprise literature test, and I aced it. But I saw Asher sulking in the corner. And later, during an experiment, he screwed up badly and spilled everything on the counter. His mind was clearly somewhere else. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just do your thing.
Fine, dude. I was just asking.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. It's just that I've scored miserably on my literature paper. If I don't get this right, I'll lose my chances of ever getting a scholarship.
What's a scholarship? Asher gave me a confused look before explaining it to me. I had no idea that people struggled so much to get a good education. For the first time ever, I felt lucky to be born rich. Fine, I'll help you.
You will?
Yeah, but you'll owe me one, and you'll stop pissing me off. Deal?
Deal.
Soon after, Asher and I started with his classes in my hotel room, and he was worse than I thought.
My love is like a red, red rose. It blooms in June. Who talks like that?
Ahem. Now take my hand, look into my eyes, and say it again. And try not to sound like a robot. Asher took a deep breath and did exactly what I asked. But just when he took my hand, I felt a weird rush in my body.
My love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June, that's sweetly played in tune. How was that?
Wow, that was brilliant. Yeah, cool. That was, good. Pretty awesome, actually. My heart was racing faster than ever. What was this heart-pounding rush? I'd never felt anything like that before. Asher and I were still holding hands when the door flung open and I saw William standing there.
I leave you for a month and I already have competition? But why this peasant?
William, what the heck are you doing here?
I came to check up on my girl.
Oh, shut up. I thought we were over this. Just leave me alone.
I won't let you go this easy, love.
William tried to take my hand, but Asher interrupted him.
I don't think Mia needs you here. Now, if you don't want your butt kicked, I suggest you leave. Her name's Penelope. If you like a girl, at least get her name right. I'm leaving now, but this isn't over.
After William left, Asher turned to me, confused.
What was he talking about?
Asher looked at me confused as I told him the whole story.
Whoa, that's insane. You're an actual princess?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to live like a normal person for once. Suddenly, I felt my hand on his, and my stomach erupted with butterflies.
I hope you won't throw me in the dungeons for being a jerk to you before.
I just might, if you annoy me again. After that day, Asher and I got a lot closer. He promised not to tell anyone about me, and I promised to help him with acing his literature tests. Once we got talking, I learned that we had a lot in common.
My parents are too busy in their own world. I was always ambitious, and they had no money. So I figured out a way to make it on my own. Now, I love being independent.
I wish I could make my life the way I wanted.
You can. All you gotta do is be brave. From here.
As he laid my hands on his chest, I could feel his heart pounding, fast and hard. I was falling for him, and I knew he felt the same way when he asked me to be his date for the Halloween party. Life was good, except William was always around me, and that was kind of annoying. When I told my parents about him, they were actually supportive of his behavior.
You should be happy he loves you so much. I suggest you come back and let go of this foolish adventure.
Why did they hate me so much? One day before the party, when I walked into school, I saw William waiting for me on his knees and a life-size bouquet.
Beautiful flowers for my beautiful date. I'll pick you up at 8 tomorrow.
No need. I already have a date.
Who? That peasant from the hotel? Come on. You deserve a prince like me. Only royalty can match royalty, and you know that.
That's enough, William. You were my childhood friend, and I respected that for as long as I could, but I'm done. Teach your lessons on royalty to my parents who love you so much, but leave me out of it.
You'll regret this.
Yeah, whatever. That evening, as I got dressed, I got a text from William that he was leaving, and I couldn't be happier. Good riddance. When Asher came to pick me up, I was shocked to see him stepping out of his car, looking like an absolute dream. We entered the party dressed as Cinderella and Prince Charming, and people couldn't stop gushing over how amazing we looked together. The mood became better when the song shifted to a slow number.
You look beautiful tonight.
Just tonight?
I fell for you the day I saw you, and I never stopped liking you.
Is that why you were so rude to me?
It was a way of keeping my feelings under control. I thought you'd distract me from my goals, but I was so wrong.
Asher pulled me closer till our faces were inches apart, and he gently kissed me on my cheek. And suddenly the song changed again, and we lost our moment.
Let's get out of here.
I'd like that. Asher took my hand and took me to the school rooftop, overlooking the entire city of New York. It was beautiful.
Penny, I know you're a princess, and I would never be able to match your status. But will you date me and make me the happiest person on earth?
It was a dream come true to meet a guy like Asher, and I was the happiest I'd been in a long time. But just as I was about to say yes, the door of the roof crashed open, and suddenly I had people taking my pictures left, right, and center.
Is he your new boyfriend, Penelope? Will you leave the crown to get married to him?
Show us the ring! I wanted to leave, but there was no way out. Just then, I caught a hold of one of the guys with the camera. Who sent you? Tell me now or I'll destroy your career. The guy got scared and told me he got an anonymous tip from someone named Asher. No way! I immediately started looking for Asher when I saw him taking money from one of the media people. How could you betray me?
Penny, listen to me. This isn't what it looks like.
I'm not blind. I just saw you taking money from him. If you needed money, you could have just asked. You're worse than William. At least he didn't lie. Asher tried to stop me, but I was too heartbroken to stop. Soon after, I called Ruth and asked her to get me on a private plane back to Belgium. I wanted her to come along, but her work in the States wasn't over yet. As soon as I landed, the driver took me to the hospital and not the palace. What's happening? Where are we going?
You'll find out soon enough, Your Royal Highness.
My heart was beating nervously as the security led me to a private room and saw Dad with 1,000 machines beeping over his head. Dad! Oh my God, what happened?
Penny, you're a sight for sore eyes.
I turned to Mom, and she told me that Dad had been unwell for quite some time. When he learned that I was dating someone out of royalty, he just couldn't take it. I'm sorry, Dad. I let you down, but I've learned my lesson. I'll do everything you say.
I just want you to take over the crown and get married to William. He's perfect for you, honey.
Even though I didn't agree with Dad, I nodded with a heavy heart. The news of my marriage and coronation spread like wildfire. Mom planned a major event inviting all the royal families of the world. As I stepped into my wedding gown, I could feel my heart sinking. Asher was the love of my life, but I had to make the sacrifice in the name of my family. I was walking down the aisle when Ruth came running into the church. Stop! Stop the wedding! Ruth, what are you doing? I have to do this. For Dad, Stop being dramatic. He doesn't love you. He's only after your money. Ruth told everyone how after I'd left, she went back to the hotel to get the rest of my stuff and ran into William. But he told me he'd left. That's exactly what I was wondering too. So I followed him to a club and saw him making out with random girls. She went on to tell how William's parents were practically broke and they wanted to marry their son off to recover money.
That's not true. She's lying.
He was the one who tipped off the media about you. For money. I looked at William, who had turned pale as paper. Spill the truth. Now.
Fine. I did it. And I'm not sorry. How could you choose that peasant over me? I'm royalty.
I slapped his face hard. I swear to God, if you say royalty one more time, I will have your sorry butt arrested. Now, if you have an ounce of shame, take your parents and get out. When I reached the palace that night, Mom and Dad were more than apologetic, and it was decided I'll take the throne with or without the husband. But before that, there was one more thing I had to do. Ruth, I already know. Here's your ticket. Go get him. I hugged her and left immediately for New York and booked the same hotel. When I reached the room, I loosened the sink and asked specifically for Asher.
Excuse me? Anyone home?
I'm in here. Hand me the screwdriver, please.
Ma'am, could you come out, please?
Sure, let me just... Oh!
Penny, what are you doing? Get out of there. Are you hurt?
Probably not as much as I hurt you. I'm sorry for not trusting you. Ruth told me how William manipulated the situation.
I was just paying them to get rid of them.
I know that now. So, you think you can forgive me? Or, I'd rather order you since I'm the queen and all, so... Asher pulled me in for a kiss, and it was everything I'd hoped for.